Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS, and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news in a move that has the potential to shake up the entire NFC East and redefine the Commanders' defensive front. Rumors are swirling about an imminent trade that could see Chris Jones, the Kansas City Chiefs' star defensive tackle, donning the burgundy and gold. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds like a blockbuster, right? Well, buckle up because this isn't just some rumor. It's a storyline that could completely alter the dynamics of the division. So here's what's been floating around. According to some credible sources like Rossini, there's a strong possibility that the Chiefs, currently sitting at 11-4 and with a cap space of roughly $12 million, might be looking to move Chris Jones. Now, why would they do that? Well, the Chiefs are in a bit of a cap squeeze, especially with their recent efforts to free up funds for their running game, which has been a bit of a weak spot lately. They're eyeing a trade that would send Jones, one of the most disruptive interior linemen in the league, to Washington in exchange for a second-round pick and perhaps a reserve defensive tackle from our squad. The idea: to bring in youth and fresh legs after a season marked by aging players and some inconsistent performances, especially on defense, which has been giving up about 22 points per game this year. Let's be honest, Chris Jones isn't just any player. This guy is a game changer. Since entering the league, he's been a force of nature, a disruptor who can explode into the backfield at any moment, wrecking plays and demanding double teams. His 2025 PFF overall grade is sitting at a respectable 71-0, placing him 26th among 128 defensive tackles. But what really jumps out is his pass rush grade, a stellar 90.5, making him the second best in the league at getting to the quarterback. That's the kind of pressure that can turn games on their head. He's accumulated 5 sacks so far this season, along with 24 tackles, 4 quarterback hits, and a pressure rate of 40 pressures. His EPA, expected points added per rush, is 12, which indicates he's highly effective at disrupting opposing offenses. Now, comparing him to some of the best interior disruptors in recent history, Jones's versatility reminds me a lot of Ndamukong Suh. He's a player who can do it all: stop the run, rush the passer, and occupy blockers that free up other defenders to make plays. His career totals include over 80 sacks and a career PFF grade above 85, with 3 Pro Bowl appearances under his belt. Despite some injuries, he missed 2 games in 2025. His impact remains undeniable. His pressure rate is around 12%, and he's known for his relentless motor and disruptive presence on every snap. Now let's zoom out a bit. The Chiefs are motivated to make this deal because they're trying to free up cap space, roughly $20 million, by moving players like their running back, who's been a bit of a relief financially but hasn't quite delivered the consistency they need. They've been eyeing options to bolster their roster for a playoff push, especially with Super Bowl odds at plus 600, which, while not as attractive as earlier in the season, still keep them in the mix. But their run defense has been a concern, ranking around 93rd in the league, which makes adding someone like Jones a logical move. Imagine him anchoring the middle of Washington's defense, transforming it into a true fortress. His presence would elevate the entire unit, especially the pass rush, which has been a bit underwhelming at times this year. In Washington, bringing Jones on board would be a game changer. He'd serve as the anchor of our defensive line, a rock that opponents would have to double-team constantly. His ability to generate pressure, projected to produce around 6 sacks, would help us reduce our opponent's yards per game on the ground, dropping from 130 to closer to 110 yards per game. That's significant because it would allow us to control the clock better and force turnovers. His presence could boost our pressure percentage from 28% to around 35%, which is a huge leap, and similar to what Vita V has done for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This would lead to more stops, fewer points allowed, and overall, a more dominant defense that could carry us deep into the playoffs. And speaking of the postseason, Jones's impact could be even more pronounced in the playoffs. Historically, interior defensive linemen like him tend to elevate their game when stakes are high. In Super Bowl LX, for example, the odds for the Commanders to make a deep run could see a boost of plus 20, 0 to plus 5, 0 if Jones joins the team. His ability to get sacks in critical moments, an 18% increase in sack rate during playoffs, could be the X factor that turns a decent defense into a championship-winning unit. His versatility means he can line up inside or shift to different spots along the line, keeping offenses guessing and creating chaos in the backfield. Now, let's talk about what this means for the Commanders overall. Adding a player like Jones isn't just about improving the defense, it's about changing the identity of the team. For years, Washington has been trying to find consistency on the defensive front, and this move could finally give them a true cornerstone. It's about establishing dominance up front, making it easier for our linebackers and secondary to do their jobs because they won't be forced to cover for extended periods. It's about setting the tone early in games, forcing turnovers, and creating a playmaking defense that opponents dread. Of course, there are still questions. Will the Chiefs really pull the trigger on this trade? How will Jones adapt to Washington's scheme? And what about the impact of injuries or positional fit? But the potential upside is enormous. If the trade goes through, it's likely to be one of the most talked-about deals of the offseason, and it could set the tone for how aggressive Washington plans to be in reshaping its roster. This move would send a clear message. The Commanders are serious about competing at the highest level and building a defense that can carry us deep into January and beyond. The team has already made strides this year, but with Jones, we could become a true playoff force, a team that strikes fear into opponents every Sunday. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think adding Chris Jones is the missing piece to finally unlocking our championship potential? Or are you skeptical about the cost and fit? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Washington Commanders. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news. This is a story that's still unfolding, and whatever happens, one thing is for sure. Our team is about to make some serious waves. Let's keep the faith and stay loud, Commanders fans, because the best is yet to come.